first I was going to say maybe don't do the TRO because then it gets you involved with the guy,
Right.
because then now you're involved with him. But
Yep.
now that he's trying to get involved with you legally, I mean, I'm not an attorney by any means. Do not take my legal advice.
Right.
Maybe you can ask Alan Dershowitz. He's an attorney. But I'm saying now I probably would do something legally because he started that. And obviously the
Yeah.
judge sees a pretty girl and some creepy old guy. And she's probably like, yeah, I think I know who is stalking who. So, okay. Do we need to do the ad read before we bring on Dean? I need to know that, or should we bring on Dean? Okay, guys, we got to pay the bills here. You must start taking care of your liver now more than ever. Why? Because the latest data from the American Heart Association indicates that adults with fatty liver were 3.5 times more likely to have heart failure than those without. The American Liver Foundation says that 100 million Americans have fatty liver, which means many people are at risk. We throw everything at our livers: cholesterol, alcohol, toxins, Tylenol, statins, cigarettes. Why? So many of us have a sluggish fatty liver that makes us gain weight is because all those things we're throwing at it. So for decades, your liver has helped you with over 500 key functions every single day. It's your time to help your liver. There is a solution: Liver Health Formula. It's an all-natural supplement which contains 12 clinically proven botanicals that help recharge and protect your liver. Manufactured right here in the US of A and approved by American doctors. So if you're looking to ignite your fat-burning metabolism, boost your energy, and transform how you look and feel, try Liver Health Formula and receive 5 free gifts when you order today. That's right, 5! First, you'll receive a free bottle of blood sugar formula to reduce those sugar cravings. You're also getting 4 free ebooks to support every aspect of your health. Try Liver Health Formula by going to getliverhelp.com/Alex and claim your 5 free bonus gifts today. Liverhelp.com/Alex. Go help your liver, guys. I know you're freaking wearing it out. If you're watching this show, you're probably drunk as a skunk. So get some of this stuff and help your liver out. Okay, enough with the commercials. Now we get to the main attraction. Well, we have a couple of main attractions, but a very special main attraction. I know Melanie is a big-time gamer. She's definitely into the superhero and comic book sphere, even more so than I am. But as a young kid, this, for me, was one of my favorite TV shows, Superman. So I just want to welcome on legendary actor and your mom's favorite Superman, the one, the only, Dean Kang. Dean, welcome to Primetime with Alex Stein.
Alex, I'm glad you said your mom's favorite and not your grandma's favorite. I appreciate that.
But Dean, you're still a very handsome young man. But first, I want to get all into it. We have a lot of stuff because I don't even want to talk about my producer yet. But he's just like you, a Princeton graduate, and we will not shut the heck up about it, Dean. No, we're gonna get into that later. But explain to me this, Dean. And I ask this because listen, I'm not some primetime actor like you, but I was in an Ozarko water bottle commercial and a TGI Fridays commercial. So as a thespian, as a fellow thespian, Dean, how did you get started? Because you're a masculine guy playing football. Did everybody say, "Oh, why do you want to be an actor? That's for girly men"? So how did you break that stigma?
Well, that is very true. I broke that stigma because I grew up in Hollywood. Not actually Hollywood, Malibu, California. My dad was a director, so all the kids that I grew up with, Sean Penn, Chris Penn, Rob Lowe, Charlie Sheen, Emilio Estevez, they kind of were actors, and my dad directed them all while I was in college in a film called Young Guns. So I was around it. I knew I was going to end up there eventually in that business because it was a lot more exciting than all my other friends were doing. They were all Wall Street brokers and wearing a suit in New York City in the heat of July and August, which is nasty. I was like, I don't want to do that. I'd rather be on these sets, make movies, tell stories. So some of those guys became billionaires, so maybe I screwed up. But it was the right choice for me. And then I got to Buffalo. I was playing for the Bills for a short time. I got injured, and I didn't really believe that I was out. I thought I'd be able to come back after I had surgery and such, but I was done. And I realized about 5 years later, when I was actually playing Superman, when I came out to Buffalo, and I was there to be a captain of the football pregame, Buffalo Bills versus Miami Dolphins. Whoever won the division. December, cold, big game, was out there. I got to do the flip of the coin, the whole thing. It was me, Jim Kelly, Bruce Smith,
wow,
Dan Marino. I was like, this is awesome. Andre Reed. And Andre Reed actually caught a pass right in front of me. I was on the sideline late in the game, tried to turn it up for first down, just got smashed. Stood up, just kind of just bent over a little bit, standing right next to me. He turns to me and he goes, Dean, how do you get into that acting thing anyway? And I was like, yeah, yeah, good, because my body was feeling a lot better than his was at that exact moment.
Now,
But
well,
go ahead.
I just want to cut you off. I'm saying I think you made the smart choice. Would you rather be a famous actor than have CTE now, Dean? I mean, I feel bad for all these pro athletes. I mean, I love sports, but I mean, they're gladiators. They don't get to come out, like they came in. They're basically, their bodies are demolished. And so I almost think it was a blessing that you might have got injured earlier, or else you could have some serious damage. I mean, I know that as a football fan, it's worth it. I'm sure you would have died on a football field, but really, obviously, hindsight, it was the best thing that ever could have happened for you, in my opinion.
Well, my son's 22 years old now, and he started playing tackle football, and that question came up a lot. Should he play? Should he be in there banging his head around? And football is the kind of thing that, like, I had to play.
Yeah.
You couldn't stop me from playing. So I like what they're doing now. With some of the rules, trying to lead with the shoulders, stay out of the head. They're trying to protect players, but football's a violent game. It's going to happen. You guys are going to get knocked out. I was knocked unconscious once. I've had tests. I don't have any brain damage.
No, you don't have any brain damage, Dean. I hope I'm not insinuating that. You definitely do not. But you named some of your classmates. Obviously, the Estevezes, Emilio Estevez, his brother, Charlie Sheen. I know he had a different name. So can you give us a little inside baseball? What was that like? Was that pretty wild? I imagine. What was the cliff notes of that experience?
Not really. It really, Alex, honestly, I thought everybody grew up in Malibu. I thought everybody had a beach they could just walk down to and go surfing. I thought everybody's parents made movies. I didn't really realize that my dad, I knew he made movies because I had to go be in them. Yeah. I had to go be in them or work on them because that's what you have to do. He makes me say these words. I'm like, why do I have to? I don't want to. I remember Chris Penn stole one of my first lines ever. I didn't want to say it. I was like, I don't want to say that. And he's like, anybody else want to say this? And Chris Penn was like, yeah, I'll say it. And he did a good job. And I was like, wow, he just stole my line. But I just thought that was normal. I didn't think of it as anything special. I didn't think I was special for doing it. Not by a long shot. I'd rather be playing football or surfing.
Yeah. Did you play for Malibu High School? So you obviously was that the Malibu High that you played at? Where did you play football?
Malibu High School didn't exist when I was there. It was Malibu Park Junior High School. So we had to go to Santa Monica to play football, and then we had a great program. We won the CIF Southern section, and we were like, I think off of our team, like 16, 18 players went Division I.
Wow.
And played, and 5 or 6 of us went to the NFL. So we had a good squad.
Well, and that doesn't surprise me. I mean, Los Angeles, that area, just that whole sphere, obviously there's going to be a lot of great athletes. So tell me this, though, Dean, now in this cancel culture world, you've been in Hollywood your whole life. When was it changed? I think the 90s, they weren't afraid to be politically incorrect. When did Hollywood become so politically correct? Because now it stinks. You'd say mainstream Hollywood. I don't know a really great movie that's come out in the past 4 or 5 years that I can just name off the top of my head. That's a really good, Shawshank Redemption. You look at the 90s, there's some of the best movies. I think the top movies of 1995, it's literally like Shawshank Redemption, Pulp Fiction. In the top movies of 2022, I believe one of them was Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and Top Gun. Top Gun is a recreation, so we can't even create new crap, Dean.
I enjoyed Top Gun, I'm not going to lie.
It was a good movie, yeah.
It was, and it was pro-America, and I liked the way they did that and didn't shy away from that part of it, so I was happy about that. Being in the arts, being someone who creates shows and product and things for people to either learn or watch or enjoy or make them feel something, having the fear of cancel culture is an absolute anvil over your head. Yeah. It's worse for comedians, as you should know. It's the worst because anything you say or do that is edgy, which is what comedians are supposed to be, you get canceled over. You could be Dave Chappelle and be uncancelable, but there's about 6 people who have that label, and bless those who do and those who still speak out. I'm not worried about it. I don't pay attention to it. I think it's a pendulum. It's gone very, very far one way. It's going to come back the other way. I just think that's the way it works. I think it's all cyclical, and right now we're in a ridiculous part of the cycle, and I can't keep my mouth shut. They've tried to cancel me, I don't know, 40 times at least. And anytime I say something or tweet something or play a character who's not me or whatever it is, they come after you. I'm Japanese by birth. My given name is Tanaka. I've been called a white supremacist more times than I'm like, I'm confused. I'm totally confused. But that's the thing. Anytime they don't agree with you, you're a Nazi, you're a white supremacist, you're a xenophobe, you're a homophobe, you're a transphobe. I'm not afraid of any of those things.
Yeah, and I know you're not a transphobe because I mean, obviously you're a good guy, and I'm not a transphobe. That they try to call me a transphobe because I made fun of Leah Thomas beating all the women in NCAA championships. That obviously, I'm not a transphobe. I believe trans people should exist and they should have the right to exist. But
Go
the,
ahead.
the sexualization of children, it's like I think that's where we're going a little crazy. But we have this though, the idea now, and it sounds crazy.